Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The ceremony will begin in 5 minutes, so I invite you to find a seat if you haven't already done so. Now, before we begin this joyous ceremony, let me remind you to silence your mobile devices and be courteous to those around you by refraining from talking or leaving your seat during the ceremony. We have hired a photographer to capture the moment your graduate receives his or her degree, so please do not approach the stage area. During the presentation of graduates, we encourage you to express your pride by applauding and cheering, but please refrain from using any air horns. In the event of fire or other emergency, you're asked to proceed in an orderly fashion to the nearest exit. Exits are identified by illuminated exit signs. Please note the exits in both the southeast and southwest corners of the gymnasium, as well as the main entrance of the gym. Please proceed to the nearest outside exit upon leaving the gymnasium, and we thank you for your cooperation. Again, our ceremony will begin in just a few minutes.
Will you please stand for the national anthem? Please be seated. Welcome to this momentous occasion, graduates, and thank you to the guests that have joined us this evening. I am Provost Greg Ferenchak, and I am delighted to congratulate the class of 2023 on behalf of the faculty of Central Ohio Technical College. Graduates, through your perseverance and dedication, you have arrived at the culmination of your educational experience, commencement. You have earned the right to be incredibly proud of yourself and your achievement. Today, it is all about you and what you have achieved here at Central Ohio Technical College. For over 50 years, Central Ohio Technical College has been a place where students could redefine their lives. Since we first opened our doors, more than 15,000 students have made their transition to alumni. Tonight, that number rises yet again with you. When the time comes to turn your tassel, feel confident in yourself and carry that confidence into the world. The faculty and I applaud your success. Congratulations, graduates. I now welcome the president of Central Ohio Technical College, Dr. John M. Berry.
Good evening, one and all. The faculty, candidates, and guests of Central Ohio Technical College are assembled. I now proclaim the autumn 2023 commencement ceremony to be in session. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the members of the Central Ohio Technical College Board of Trustees, who are all with us here this evening. Trustees are appointed by the Governor of the State of Ohio and by local school boards. As I call your name, please remain standing for recognition. If you could hold your applause and recognize them all together, we would be appreciative. Mr. Robert A. Montagnes, Chair. Mr. J. Andrew Crawford. Mr. Andrew P. Guansel. Ms. Sally W. Heckman. Ms. Marion M. Sutton. And finally, Ms. Rhoda S. Warnock. We also have members of the President's Cabinet on stage. As I call your name, please remain standing for recognition as well. Brian Bomer, Superintendent of Facilities and Support Services. Dr. John Davenport, Dean of Students. Dr. Greg Ferenchak, Provost. Dr. Brianna Johnson, Chief Diversity Officer. Dr. Sinith Kumar, Director of Marketing and Public Relations. Dr. Kim Mano, Director of Advancement. And finally, Dr. Jackie Perrell, Vice President and Chief of Staff. Thank you very much for your service. Lastly, it is my pleasure to recognize this person on stage. This is Professor Scott Wilson, who has served COTC's faculty for over 4 decades. As our senior-most faculty member, Scott has the honor to serve as the mace bearer. The college mace is a symbol of the Office of the President and represents each of our 4 campuses. The mace is used to lead the academic procession at commencement and other ceremonial occasions. Scott, would you please stand to be recognized? Now it is my pleasure to call Mr. Rob Montagnes, Chair of the Central Ohio Board of Trustees, to offer comments on behalf of the board.
Thank you, Dr. Berry. It really is my privilege and honor to represent the Board of Trustees and be one of the first to congratulate you on this tremendous achievement and event. Certainly to all the families and all the support members that helped you get here, congratulations to you as well. You know, when I was graduating from high school, someone said at that ceremony, people really don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So I'm going to appeal tonight as president of Licking Memorial Hospital that you take this knowledge, you take your talents, your energy, your skills, and excel in your field, certainly, but that you take those same talents and help through volunteerism, through participation, whether it's schools, other social service agencies, to really make your community, hopefully many of you will be staying in the Licking County or Central Ohio area, an even better place to live, to work, to raise a family. You certainly should be proud of what you've achieved here this evening. And once again, the Board of Trustees congratulates you. Have a great holiday season, and we wish you all the best. Oh. And I apologize, but I have another commitment, so I do have to leave. But it has nothing to do or diminishes how proud we are of your accomplishments. Thank you.
So ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for us to present to you our two special speakers of the evening. And we do things a little bit different here at COTC. We actually ask someone from the graduating class to actually represent the class and speak on their behalf and share about their experiences. And then we ask an alumni who has actually made their mark in their field of choice to actually share their experience as well. So our first speaker, it is my pleasure to now introduce. Representing the graduating class is someone who has earned the Kelly Staffel Leadership Award for their strong and consistent leadership skills. Emmy Lippincott served as president of the Otaku Student Organization, which brings together fellow students who share a common interest in art, animation, cosplay, and Japanese culture. They also served as treasurer for the Active Mind Student Organization, a student organization that promotes mental health awareness. Emmy has completed their Associates of Applied Science and Human Services. Emmy, will you please come to the stage?
Students, faculty, family, and friends. My name is Emmy Lippincott, and it is my honor to be your 2023 Winter Commencement Speaker. I am a human services social work major who has a strong passion for helping others. I started coming to Central Ohio College back in the spring semester of 2021. I would like to tell you a little bit about my backstory and how I ended up in the social work field. From a very young age, I was diagnosed with a variety of mental health problems, which have only grown as I've gotten older. Growing up, I was constantly told you can't and you're worthless daily by my peers, teachers, and other adults in my life besides my parents. Because I was very different, I was rejected by most people in my life besides my family back then. Little did they know by telling me about these things daily, they were only adding fuel to my fire. I knew when I grew up, I wanted to be the person for the kid who was bullied and rejected by their peers. I wanted to be that support person to show them their worth and that they are loved. I turned their I can'ts into I cans. As I grew up, my life became one series of trauma after another, but I survived because I knew I had to reach my goal of helping others. I had a purpose. For a while, I became more interested in the arts and did originally attend college for art right after high school. After I had been through those traumas, I had come up with the idea in my head that I was too broken to become a social worker now, that no one would respect someone so beaten down. That is, until I met my wonderful now fiance, Johnny. One of the first times Johnny and I met, he asked me what my goals were. I disclosed to him my true goal of becoming a social worker, but about my fear of being too broken. That is when he told me that my trauma and life experiences is what would make me such a great social worker. because I can truly empathize with what my clients were going through. Johnny told me how he had currently attended COTC and that I should apply there. That is how I ended up here speaking to you all today. COTC is such an amazing school, and I have had so many wonderful opportunities here. I have met so many wonderful people and made so many friends during my time here at COTC. Thanks to COTC's wonderful Human Services Social Work program, I have been even able to secure employment in my career field before graduation. Never in a million years did I think this would be possible for myself. Thanks to all the support from COTC's wonderful staff and students, I have been able to make my goals and dreams become a reality. A wise man once told me, "The harder I work, the more luck I find." As I have grown older, I found this to be very true. The first step to this hard work starts with believing in yourself. Tell yourself daily, "I am worthy, I am loved, I can do this." Tell the people who tell you that you can't, that you can. Turn their hate into powerful motivation for yourself. They say you can't, you say, "Watch me." I just wanted to give a big thank you to Dr. Berry and Mrs. Reese. You helped me so much during my time here at COTC and have given me so many wonderful opportunities to better myself. To all my professors, especially Jennifer Arney in the Human Services Social Work program, without all your help and support throughout my years here at COTC, I would not be here where I am today. To the rest of the faculty here at COTC, none of us would be here without all your support. And finally, to our family and friends who are here with us today, we all appreciate everything you have done for us students during our studies here. I have one final thing I would like to say to leave you all with. Remember, never let another person define your self-worth. Thank you.
Thank you, Emmy. I appreciate those words. Graduates, how many of you have ever been told you can't? Raise your hand if you have. Okay, there you go. How many of you have demonstrated tonight that you certainly can? There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Now, the other thing I also learned from Emmy, and I appreciate this, is COTC, of course, is an institution of higher education and of deep learning, but apparently of romance as well. So that's very good to know. Thank you, Emmy, very much. Our next speaker is a COTC alumnus who was featured in our 2023-2024 View Book. Toby Starr graduated in 2016 from our Business Management Technology program before expanding his education to the bachelor's and master's degree level, which have helped him ultimately land a very rewarding career. Please welcome the Community Relations and Sustainable Operations Manager, Mr. Toby Starr.
Thank you, Dr. Berry, for the invitation to be part of this ceremony and for allowing me to celebrate this special occasion with all of you. I'd also like to thank the faculty, staff, honored guests for being here today. Graduates, I promised my younger self that if I were to ever find myself in the position to give remarks such as these, I would keep it brief. For that, I promise to speak with brevity, but not so much so that I never get invited to do this again. My boss, Emily, is in the audience tonight after all. Now, before I begin, I do have an admission to make. Although I spent the better part of a decade in corporate communications, I've never actually written a graduation speech or been on stage such as this. I'm always the one doing the writing. In fact, I never actually walked this stage when I graduated. Graduates like you, I did attend Central Ohio Technical College and very proud of it. Unlike you, however, not having walked this stage, I did not stop to celebrate. And it wasn't just this ceremony I missed. I missed the opportunity to thank everybody I had in my life that was here to support me, who nurtured me, who invested in me, who taught me. After all, I did not just arrive at COTC with my lunch packed up and my boots tied tight, ready to learn for the very first time in my life. I'd been learning from others my entire life, from the very moment my parents taught me how to use a spoon. And I've been learning and growing every day since. Graduates, you deserve so much credit for this accomplishment. But take note of everyone who is here and who has helped you and supported you along the way. They deserve gratitude, and this moment too. So let us take time to thank the people in our lives who have invested in you, whether they're here today or not. For the parents and grandparents, uncles and aunts, teachers, mentors, administrators, support staff, and more, who have supported you and lifted you up, and to whom you are fortunate enough to have in your life. For everything that you all have done to impart your knowledge and your wisdom upon these folks. This celebration is just as much for you. But the learning doesn't stop here today, and I know that's the least that you want to hear right now after having gone through all of this. But the learning doesn't stop here today. A former mentor of mine once shared, Albert Einstein reportedly said, "Once you stop learning is the day you start dying." My mentor taught me to treat every day like an opportunity to learn something new, and every person like a vessel through which you can glean knowledge and wisdom. I've come to realize that the more that you learn, the more that you know. And the more you know, the more you realize how much you don't know. And that has a tendency to shape your heart, and it humbles the ego. You can quote me on that one. I made that one up. Over the last year, I've been working with Intel, helping to build the Silicon Heartland right here in Central Ohio. It has been a humbling experience, and it's been rewarding. And I've been learning on the job every day. The semiconductor technology Intel creates is world-changing, and it will impact every life on this planet. But the reason I'm especially proud of this company is because of what I've seen our leadership and of our people. We're committed to lifelong learning and learning from Ohio, learning from its people, learning from you. If what Albert Einstein said was true, then he must have also meant that by learning, you are in fact truly experiencing life. So I implore you all to become lifelong learners. You have shown us all what you are capable of, and we cannot wait to see what you do with this knowledge. Congratulations, class of 2023. You have earned this. We are all so very proud of you. I wish you all the very best as you pursue your dreams, and that the people that have supported you in your life continue to be there for you. And on your quest for knowledge, I hope you continue to learn something new every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toby. A job very well done, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, imagine that today, of course, you're celebrating. Think about maybe 8 years from now, you might be on this stage. I'm presenting to your peers and wishing them the career that our friend Toby has embarked on with the Intel Corporation. So I thank both Toby and Emily. So you, Emmy, and all the graduates seated in front of me are an inspiration to the faculty and staff of Central Ohio Technical College, your friends, family, and all future students and graduates of the college as well. Before the diplomas are handed out, I want to just briefly recognize a few caring and dedicated people who have supported you along the way. The COTC faculty play a crucial role in bringing the graduates to this important milestone. Will all of the COTC faculty members please stand for recognition? Thank you. You may be seated. Before we move on from the faculty, I would like to recognize one particular member who is participating in his last commencement ceremony this evening. Our program director and professor for our fire science program, Gary Johnson. Will you please stand, Gary? Gary started as a full-time faculty member in 2013 and has served on several committees and was actively engaged in curriculum, course, and degree development throughout his time at COTC. Because of Gary's work, we are proud to say that the Fire Science Technology Associate's Degree Program at COTC is the only degree program in Central Ohio accredited by the International Fire Services Accreditation Congress. The Fire Science Technology Program at COTC was the first program in Central Ohio to be recognized by the U.S. Fire and Emergency Services Higher Education and follows the FHSHE recommended curriculum. Thank you, Gary, for your service and for your commitment to the college. I would be remiss not to mention all of our college staff members. So college staff, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. And last but not least, will the families and friends of our graduates please stand and be recognized? Thank you, each and every one. I think you heard from both of our speakers tonight that our graduates would not be here and where they are without your love and support. Now, I want to turn this over to Dr. Ferenchek.
Thank you, Dr. Berry. It is my pleasure this evening to recognize those students graduating with distinction. Students graduating with honors have earned an overall grade point average of 3.5 or higher out of a possible 4.0. The names of students who have achieved this level of performance are identified in the commencement program. Also, Central Ohio Technical College honor graduates can be recognized by their gold tassels on their caps. Will all of our honor graduates please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Please be seated. Members of Phi Theta Kappa, the International Honor Society of two-year colleges, maintain at least a 3.25 grade point average and are involved in numerous service projects on campus and in the community. Phi Theta Kappa students are wearing gold stoles. Will all of our Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society graduates please stand and be recognized? Congratulations, you may be seated. We also have graduates that are members of the Alpha Delta Nu Nursing Honor Society, which recognizes the academic excellence of students in the study of associate degree nursing. Alpha Delta Nu students are wearing apricot cords. Will all of our Alpha Delta Nu Nursing Honor Society graduates please stand and be recognized? Congratulations, you may be seated. Graduates that began taking college courses at Central Ohio Technical College while in high school are identified by their green and white cords. Will all of our high school option and college credit plus students please stand and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. Lastly, it is my privilege to recognize those students who are graduating as veterans or members of the United States military. Military veterans and active duty personnel are identified by red, white, and blue cords. We honor and appreciate you for serving our country. Please stand for recognition. Congratulations, you may be seated. Thank you. As I call your degree or certificate, please rise. Audience members, please hold your applause until all of the candidates have been recognized. Will the candidates for the degree of Associate of Applied Business in Business Management Technology please stand? You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree of Associate of Applied Business in Information Technology please stand? Will the candidates for the degree of Associate of Applied Science in Criminal Justice Technology please stand? Will the candidates for the degree of Associate of Applied Science in Digital Media Design Technology please stand? You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree of Associate of Applied Science in Engineering Technology please stand? You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree of Associate of Applied Science in Fire Science Technology please stand? You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree of Associate Applied Science in Health Services Technology please stand? You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree of Associate Applied Science in Human Services please stand? You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree of Associate Applied Science in Nursing Technology please stand? You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree of Associate Applied Science in Surgical Technology please stand? You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree of Associate of Arts please stand? You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree of Associate of Science please stand? You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Addiction Studies Certificate please stand? You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Basic Health Care Certificate please stand? You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Behavioral and Mental Health Technician Certificate please stand? You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Case Management for the Healthcare and Gerontology Professional Certificate please stand? You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Electrocardiograph Technician Certificate please stand? You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Human Resources One-Year Certificate please stand? You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Practical Nursing One-Year Certificate please stand? You may be seated. Will the candidates for the Surgical Technology One-Year Certificate please stand? Will all of the candidates please stand? Dr. Berry, I have the distinct honor to present and recommend on behalf of the faculty of Central Ohio Technical College these candidates who have completed all of the requirements for the Associate of Applied Business, Associate of Applied Science, Associates of Arts, Associate of Science, One-Year Certificate, and Short-Term Certificate.
Thank you, Dr. Ferenchek. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Central Ohio College Board of Trustees and the State of Ohio, I confer upon you the appropriate degrees and certificates with all the rights, privileges, and duties pertaining thereto. Congratulations. Let's give them one heck of a round of applause. All right, we've recognized you as a collective, and now it's time to recognize you as an individual. In recognition of the degrees and certificates that have just been conferred, the diplomas will now be handed out.
Emmy Teresa Lippincott, with honors. Kendall Lynn Bradley. Savannah Renee Kaminsky. Miriam Komil Ruba Mushu. Ashley Marie Porter, with honors. Kevon L. Allen. Bryce Logan Thompson. Noel Jean Zarnowski, with honors. Brandon Parrish. Ashlyn Skylar Christina Montgomery. Fauna Cherie Aprich. Cassie K. Daniels, with honors. Alyssa Charlotte Grover, with honors. Jordan Leone Nolan. Geraldine Marie Thompson. Story Mae Wallace. Grace Aday. Essie Asoba. Abigail Victoria Brinker, with honors. Ashley Lynn Burke. Morgan Lane Bush. Tori Ann Cannon. Fatumata Ducore. Lydia Rose Dupler. Emily Faith Edmonds. Andre Galev. Gabrielle Guerin. Sydney George, with honors. Cora Elizabeth Gaucher. Colin Avery Hall. Trinity Celeste Harmon. Sloan Christopher Hastings. Sierra Paige Hawkins, with honors. Amy Lynn Holly. Elizabeth Grace Hughes. Janet Anchiwa Insuful. Tasha Lee King, with honors. Jessica Nicole Mann. Haley Lynn Marshall. Naomi Jerop Murray. Alexandra Carlisle New. Emily Ann Pickens. Sydney Danielle Remus. Gonga Niapani Rajal. Mano Savan. Jamie Esther Schreffler, with honors. Caitlin Janelle Smith. Tiffany Amber Stanton. Elena Ray Williams. Amanda Williams. Christina Lily Boggs. Kayla Michelle Keese. Lacey Louise Montgomery. Erica Knoll. Mackenzie Louise Rhine. Alexis Sears. Jamuna Boyakuti. Annie Renee Bernthold. Zachary Ryan McKee. Naomi Summerly Nichols. Atlantis Nicole Diane Moyer. Dylan Vida. Tabitha Lynn Wood. Krista Blair Mitchell. Heather M. Doherty. Nolan K. DeLauder. Savannah Elizabeth Gary. Macy Lee Jordan. Sierra Anne Marie Langwasser. Olivia Marie Litzinger. Joyce Naboke Magabe.
Will all of the graduates please rise? In keeping with academic tradition, you may now transfer your tassel from right to left. This is a visible symbol that you are now a graduate of Central Ohio Technical College. Let us give you all a round of applause. All right, graduates, we're going to keep you here for just a few more minutes, so please be seated. Normally, this is the time where I just do a presentation of a short closing, but I thought this year we'd do something a little different, and we'll actually show you a little video that some of you may have seen earlier, but I doubt that any of your family or friends or loved ones have. So if my friends in audiovisual can cue up our presentation.
Hello, everyone. This is John Berry, President, Central Ohio Technical College, wishing you a happy and healthy holiday season. We do things a little differently here at Central Ohio Technical College, and today we have our twist on what would be a holiday classic. So I'm going to share with you "'Twas the Night Before Commencement." 'Twas the night before commencement when all through the campus, not a soul was studying, not even on campus. The computers were turned off and lights dimmed with care, in hopes that COTC certificates and diplomas soon would be there. The soon-to-be grads were nestled all snug in their beds, while so many memories of college danced in their heads. Visions of instructors in their regalia and students in their caps, and family and friends who would cheer and would clap. When out of the campus grounds there arose such a clatter, campus security arrived to see what was the matter. When what to their wondering eyes should appear, the faculty and staff were all shedding a happy tear. You've left your marks over the years, and now you're leaving to start your amazing careers. The graduates approached one and all, comforting their sorrow, knowing that they too were anxious and excited about tomorrow. Dr. Berry came smiling to reassure one and all, knowing that they would succeed, whatever their call. With your talents, your smarts, and your technical knowledge too, a life lived with purpose is sure to ensue. Don't forget your COTC family, we will always be here. Whether you move very far or stay quite near, a nurse, a police officer, an engineer, a teacher or coach, a business professional and more, we're all in their hopes. It was time to walk and to say one final goodbye. Who knew how fast these years would fly by? Tomorrow came, speeches were made and caps tossed. Their memories of this special moment would never be lost. Go forward with courage, be brave and shine upon, for the legacy of your class will always live on. Now hear me one and all as I fade out of sight. Happy graduation to all, and to all a good night.
Thank you all very much. I'd like to recognize Mr. Chris Dawson, who is our videographer, who actually helped put that together, along with our marketing and PR department. Thank you very much for all of your help. So ladies and gentlemen, I would normally just end on that note, but I do want to emphasize something about that presentation. There's one particular moment, and I'm going to rephrase this to you. With your talents, your smarts, and your technical knowledge too, a life lived with purpose is sure to ensue. I want you to kind of focus on that. And the reason I share that, and you heard this today from both of your speakers, that you have proven yourself and your ability to be successful. And we are all here to recognize that tonight. What you are now challenged to do and what you are burdened to do is to move beyond being successful and now to be significant. It is your time to shine. It is your time to lead with the legacy of your Central Ohio alumni past. You're moving from student to graduate to alumni. The things that you have the potential to do in your communities, in the places that you will go, the places that you will live, the communities that you will serve can be extraordinary. My job is to ensure that you take the wisdom, the knowledge that was imparted to you by your faculty members. Their world of being significant is investing in you. Your choice and your charge is now to go forward and become that individual who will shape the world, because that's, ladies and gentlemen, who you will be. We wish you nothing but the best. Congratulations, and as I said before, now hear me one and all as we fade out of sight. Happy graduation to all, and to all a good night. This concludes the autumn 2023 commencement of Central Ohio Technical College. Please remain seated until the platform party and the faculty have recessed and the graduates have exited the gymnasium. I now direct the recessional to begin.